Yeah, about 2 years ago, my Aunt Sherda was shot and killed by her husband, and he then turned the gun on himself. And their two children, my little cousins, were 8 and 12 at the time and were home when that happened. I think that it definitely brought my family closer, and we really had to kind of grieve together. And, my cousins, their whole life completely changed. They lost both of their parents. So it's been hard. It's been an adjustment period. It's such a traumatic event that what happened, but us as a family, we worked through everything. I think especially with what happened with my aunt, because it was domestic violence, there can be a lot of guilt and wondering, like, why didn't we know anything was happening? And kind of like a lot of survivor's guilt. And I think you have to take that guilt away and know that everything happens for a reason. As much as that hurts to know, everything does happen for a reason, and to not lose hope and to keep that hope alive as you're grieving. And it's okay to grieve, really go through all those steps in that process of grieving, and it's okay to do that. I definitely do think situations like this and other situations can be avoided. There's things called extreme risk protection orders where people can get their gun, someone that they love, whether they think they're going to be harmed to themselves or others, can get their guns temporarily taken away. We've seen that in states like Colorado or other states where that's been reinstated, that domestic violence homicides have gone down and suicides have gone down too. So when you look at that, it's definitely avoidable. And I honestly think all gun violence is avoidable. We can obviously lobby for gun legislation like extreme risk protection orders, universal background checks. But there really has to be a cultural change around violence. We as a community need to come together and look at the root causes of violence. And once we address those root causes, we can start eradicating gun violence. To elected officials, I would say that we need to stop polarizing this issue. This is not a Democrat versus Republican issue. This is literally a life or death issue. And it's frustrating when you see politicians continuously take money from the NRA, who literally blocks any common sense legislation getting passed. And that's frustrating. And I would say to the community that we have to exercise that right to vote, because we have to get out those politicians that don't care about our lives.